Hello, Jennifer. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good evening, ma.
To have you here. Can we just give 5 minutes more for others to join in? And I sincerely appreciate the fact that you have been here, but let's just give extra 5 minutes for others to join in.
All right, ma. No problem. Ma?
Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? Please, if you can hear me, can you just say hi?
Hi.
All right. I love the response I just got. So thank you so much for joining the webinar, even though we had to change the location in such a short notice. And we sincerely apologize about that. We had a little bit of issues because a lot of persons were not able to download Zoom. So we just had to use this. And Once again, I want to thank you so much for joining the webinar. And before I start, I would like to know us by our names. I'd love to know you, right? So that the class can be interactive. Okay. So your name and what you do. Okay. Thank you so much, Babatunde. All right. So like I was saying, I said I would love to know your name, your location, and then why are you interested in data analytics? So who is going first? I'm going to start calling names. Babatunde, I can see you. Abua, I can see you. Jennifer. So who is going
Okay.
first?
Okay, let me go. Hello,
All
everyone.
right. Good evening.
My name is Jennifer. Namchi Jennifer Choma. I'm from Enugu State, and this is actually the first time joining such meeting. I actually want to learn about this skill. I want to learn, and hopefully, I know I'm going to gain a lot from this particular meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shama. I will sincerely um, look forward to meeting your expectations. So who is going next? Who is going next?
Okay, my name is Abua. I'm staying Port Harcourt here. The reason why I want to like learn it, I've been hearing about it. I had some challenges when I was doing my masters. I could not really analyze some data set over there in the UK. It was tough. It was very, very tough. You know, after doing your experiment, you come up with a set of some data, and you see some colleagues who are just like maneuvering these things, and I like how it was a very big challenge for me. So I felt before I go for a PhD, I need to know it because it's something that is a thing you cannot do without data,
Yeah,
and you just have to know it.
yeah,
You just have
yeah.
to.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Powa. So I would like to just ask, from what you said that you were working as a data analyst sometime, and then is that what you're saying? Hello? Can you hear me? Mr. Bua.
I guess it's off.
Oh, oh.
No,
All
I
right. So,
said during my
okay.
master's program in the UK, I said, are you talking to me?
I can hear you, sir. I
Yeah,
can hear
I
you.
said yeah, I said during my master's program in data, so it was tough one for me. So definitely, I know that if I go for a PhD, I must work with data. So I think this course will be very helpful for me.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I get you better. Okay. We are looking forward to meeting your expectations. And one thing about data is you don't really get to understand it until you go practical, right? So it's the practical side of it that makes data analysis come to life. So, and that's one of the things we're going to be doing in this webinar. We're just going to do a few practicals on data analytics. So, who is going next? Who is going next? We are introducing ourselves for those that are just joining. So, who is going next, please? Who is going next?
Yeah, good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening. I can
Yeah,
hear you. Good evening, sir.
I'm Babatunde Adebayo. So I'm an internal auditor. So I actually want to see how I can adopt data analysis into internal auditing, where I can use it to bring out more insights. So and that's why I have interest in joining this class. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Mr. Babatunde. And we look forward to meeting your expectations as well. So who else is going? I just want to take two more introductions, then we'll go straight into the webinar. So who is going next? Who's going next? I'm going to call names. All right, so Mr. Hassan, you haven't said anything. We just want to hear your voice, sir. And Mr. Great too. Thank you so much for joining, but we want to hear your voice. Please, can you just speak up, introduce yourself, your name, your location, and why you want to learn data analytics? Okay, all right. So I want to sincerely welcome all of us to the webinar, and thanks so much, Shoma. Thanks so much, Mr. Aboa, Mr. Babatunde, for introducing yourself. So I would like to share my screen now. I'd like to share my screen now. So
Okay.
can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, beautiful. So welcome to Excel for Beginners, a beginner's guide to data analytics. So basically, what we want to do in this class is to expose you to data analytics using Excel, right? We're going to talk about the theory side, and we're also going to go into practicals. Like I said before, the practicals is what brings data analytics to life, right? So quickly, we are going to be introducing Vigor Analytics. So this webinar is being hosted under Vigor Analytics. And Vigor Analytics, we have two missions that we want to achieve. First, we want to empower businesses through data analytics by providing them with real-time insights, and we also want to empower youths, right, by organizing boot camps, trainings, and that is why this training is being organized, to empower youth to be able to earn more, right? So let me introduce myself. Right, my name is Victoria Uneke. So I'm a lead trainer at Vigo Analytics, and I'm a certified data analyst. Okay, so I'm a certified data analyst, and all right. So let me please just give me 1 minute. Okay. So as I was saying, can you see my screen now?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
All right. So my name is Victoria Onike, and I'm a lead trainer at Vigo Analytics. So I'm a certified business data analyst, right? And I work as a management and information system analyst at an IT company in Lagos State, right? So as a system analyst, I get to work practically with Excel, Power BI daily. This is what I do daily, right? So I do data analysis daily. So whatever I'm trying to teach you today is not something I cooked up from online. It's something I live, is is my life, right? So I'm trying to impact my life, my passion to you this evening. So this says with a deep passion for empowering young people. So yes, that's what I love to do. That's why I'm organizing this. So the purpose of this training is to empower young people with data analysis skill that will boost their earning power, just like I already said, right? And in this, in the practical sections, we are going to be looking at aggregation function in Excel and data analysis in Excel, right? So when I get to that part, I will explain that in detail. So why should you learn data analytics first? Of all data analysis too, why should you learn Excel? Why should you learn Excel? Because there are so many data analytics too out there. We have Power BI for visualization, we have Tableau for visualization, we also have SQL, we have and many more, and what have you. But Excel is like the foundation, right? Because there's no need to knowing a lot of big things when you don't know the basics. So knowing Excel is the basis of data analysis, right? There are some data cleaning you want to do that you can just do it quickly in Excel using Power Query, and you just do it very fast and work with whatever you're working with. So that's one of the reasons. And then the second one is Excel is the number one skill employers look for. So you would agree with me that if you look at every job requirement now, the first thing you will see there is proficiency in Microsoft Excel or MS tools. So employers now in all industries are looking for people that can handle Microsoft Excel very well, even though not like an expert, but you should have basic knowledge of what Microsoft Excel can do. Right. So Another thing is that Microsoft Excel can help businesses make smart decisions, can help an organization make smart decisions. All right, gone are those areas where business owners, CEOs tend to make decisions on assumptions, right? They just predict that this is, if they, for example, they're having issues with sales, they just assume that, okay, since sales is the issue, we are just going to do this, going to do that. But with data analytics now, you can actually analyze and know what is the cause for that decline in sales. And then you just make sure that your decisions are targeted, and your whatever actions you're taking are also targeted towards your goal. You don't just shoot arrows in the air just like that. So Excel also, if you are looking forward to earning a lot of money working remotely, or you want to go into freelancing, then you should learn a test skill. And one of those skills is data analysis, right? So if you look up, you can just go to your web browser and type Fiverr. So on Fiverr, type for data entry, search for data entry roles. You would see a lot of data entry roles, right? So, and they are paying a lot of money. And data entry is not really something that is hard. As long as you have the basics in Excel, it's what I'm going to be teaching you now. You can do data entry roles, right? You can apply for remote jobs and make a lot of money. So with that said, I'm looking forward to having you join me in the practical session. So at this point, I'd like to ask if there's anyone who has questions before we go into the practical sessions. Does anyone have questions?
Yes, please. My question is that will this class be recorded and also be shared with us?
Yes, so it will be recorded, and of course, it will be recorded. So is that all? All right. So let's go straight into the practical session then. So I believe you can all see my screen, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So
Yes,
with
you
me
can see.
here, thank you so much. All right. So with me here, I have a data set for a small business. I want us to analyze together, right? So there are two basic things we'll be learning today. We are going to be learning aggregate functions in Microsoft Excel. First, let me explain what Microsoft Excel is. So I like using the analogy of a book, right? So a book, we have pages, it will have lines where you can write upon. So see Microsoft Excel as a book. All right. When you type something on Word, it is saved as a document. But in Microsoft Excel, it is saved as a workbook. So we call it workbook. And just like a book has many pages, Microsoft Excel also has many pages, right? So, and these pages in Microsoft Excel are called worksheets. You can see, you can create many other and even rename as you want. So you can even type webinar, rename as you want. So these are called worksheets. Just like a book has different pages, you can create different worksheets on Microsoft Excel. All right, so look at these lines. The four squared shape on the screen right now is called cell. So this is called a cell, right?
Ma,
So a cell.
sorry, I don't. I'm just seeing the slides. I'm not seeing the worksheets.
Okay, can you see this?
I'm only seeing the slides. Why master is there? Like the introduction you just
Same,
did.
same here. Same here.
Okay.
Yes, you can't see the sheet.
What's
I'm only seeing
the
the slide.
All
environment?
right.
Can
So
you can you
let me
zoom?
stop sharing so that I can just share it again.
Okay.
Apologies about that. So I will have to take that again.
If you can zoom it,
All right. So let me share again. So can you see this now?
My this same thing, ma.
Can you zoom it? Can you zoom it?
Okay. All right. So I believe you'll be able to see it now. So can you see
Okay.
the worksheet now?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you can see
Yes.
it.
All right. So apologies about that. So like I
Alright.
was saying, let me go back to the explanation I said if you want to understand Microsoft Excel, I would like to use the analogy of a book, right? Just like a book has different pages and then lines upon which you can write whatever you want to write on. It's like that too in Microsoft Excel. So Microsoft Excel has what we call worksheets. Worksheets. Just you can see what I'm clicking on. So these things down here are called worksheets, right? So you can create as many worksheets as you want and rename it. So let me rename this to Excel, right? So this is it. So this is what worksheets is in Excel. And if you look at this four squared is called a cell. So inside this cell, you can be able to enter your data and type whatever you want. So say I want to type sales, right? So on the second row, I want to type 200,000 naira as my sales. So these things are called cells. And then if you look above, you will see this, the columns above, the ones that have alphabets on it, they are called columns in Excel. And the one by the left that are numbered are called rows, right? So with this basic understanding, I'd like us to go deeper into what we have for today. So with me here, I have a data set for a small business, right? So with this data set, we have here sales rep. We have sales rep here. So this sales rep, we are talking about people that worked and generated sales for this particular business. So the region, we're looking at the months, January, February, March, April, and May, right? So first of all, we have few tasks here to do. So the first task that we have is we want to know the total sales in January using some function. Yes, we want to know the total sales that this particular business generated in the month of January. So to do that, you can just click on the amount there, and then you press Control, Shift, and arrow down button on your screen. So when you press the Control, Shift, and arrow down button, let me do it again. So I just clicked on this, and then on my keyboard, I press Control, Shift, and arrow down. No matter how long the data is, it will just highlight everything at once. So when you highlight that, if you come to this part, I like to zoom this. So if you come to this place, you see that the sum is 2,400 and the average is 480. So sum is 2,400, average is 480. We can do it that way, or we can use an aggregate function to get our sum. So want to know how much did this particular business earn in the month of January. So we can just start our, please note that you should always start your function with an equal to sign, right? So we'll start with an equal to sign, and then we'll write sum. We want to know the total sum of sales in the month of January. So you highlight the first, and don't forget what I said. You use Control, Shift, and arrow down button, and then you close it and press your enter. So you have 2,400, which is the same with what we add down here, right? So the reason why I love using shortcuts is because it makes you faster. Because sometimes you might have a lot of data you want to work on, and you don't have all the time to start using the whole long process. So you just use shortcuts and save your time. So the shortcut to highlight a colon, your Control, Shift, and arrow down, it highlights everything for you. All right. So we've So the total sales for the month of January, we have seen that the total sales is 2,400, right? So if we want to get the total sales for the month of May, right? Want to get the total sales for the month of May. So who can unmute and tell me what you can do to get the total sales for the month of May? So this is the month of May, yeah, right? The last column, yeah. So who can tell me what to do to get the total sales, or who can even tell me the amount of the total sales for me, and tell me how you were able to get the answer? So who'll be going first? All right, so I'm waiting. Who is going first? Should I call names? All right. So I should call names. Jennifer, please, can you tell us? Mr. Babatunde,
Why is it my name?
your name is the first
Okay.
name, is the
Okay.
first name that came to my mind. So,
Okay. Let me. Okay. That you have to click on a cell on that
okay.
particular column, which is May.
Yes,
Then
yes.
you hold Control Shift arrow down to highlight them.
Control
Then you
Shift
click
arrow
your
down.
yes.
All right.
You highlight them. So, sorry, it seems like I'm making mistake there. Let me just use the shortcut that I know. You click the cell that is G8 there down.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Okay. Click your equals to
Okay.
there. Then you now highlight the arrow, the cell.
Okay.
You highlight that one, then you click on your plus sign.
Okay.
Seems like I'm making mistake now.
All right. So you highlight this and then you click on your
You
button, you press
drag it down.
yes. So you can either drag it down
Yes. You drag
like
it down
this,
there. Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yes, ma.
Okay. And press enter.
Ah, okay, okay, let's
So
do it. It's equals to you type
okay.
some
All right.
brackets open, that is the open, yes. Then you drag it down, then you click enter.
Okay. Don't forget to close your
Okay.
all right. So
This is
enter. So
what I'm used to. Sorry.
yeah, so it's as simple as that. So from what we are doing now, we can see that the total sales for the month of May is 2,700. So I'd like to, the second task we have here is calculate the total average for February sales. All right. So well, let's start with equals to.
Okay.
When you want to write a function in Excel, so you start right with equals to, you write your average, right? Open brackets for the
Yeah.
month of February. So you highlight, Control Shift arrow down
Yes.
button and close.
Okay.
So the average is 536 naira for the month of February.
Okay.
Yes. So functions are very easy, especially if knowing that the first rule is always put your equals to sign. So when you put your equals to sign, you type in what you want. If you want to do addition, you type in your sum function. If you want to know the average, type in your average function, and whatever you want to do, you just type it like that and open your bracket and highlight the cells you want to calculate, and that is it. So for max, we want to know what's the maximum sales in March. So now I want to know, maybe the CEO of this particular business came to me as a data analyst and said, Victoria, please, can you tell me what is the highest amount of sales we realized in the month of March? And which sales rep made that particular sale? So I can just go to the data set and just write equals to maximum, max in Excel, open brackets. So total sales in March and highlight March. So close. So the total sales that we have in the month of March was 619 naira. And then if you want to trace who did this, can always go to 690 and then you see it is Diana who did this. There are actually two ways to be able to track this. You can either on your keyboard press Control F to find, and then you type 690, find all, it will tell you. So when you find all, to just highlight that particular row, and then you see, and then you highlight it, and then you get Diana. So there are two ways you can go about that. So from this, you can see that our maximum sales in the month of March was 619 naira. So if you want to know the smallest value, say the CEO came again and say, wow, I was impressed by Diana's performance. And so I want to give her an incentive for being the best sales rep. But I want to penalize the worst sales rep because this particular sales rep did not help us generate enough sales for the business. So to do that, I'll just go to smallest value in April. That's what we want to do now. Type in my equals to want to know the smallest value. Right, so you type minimum for April, right? Control Shift arrow down, close your bracket. So the minimum was 480, and the worst sales rep was Ethan. So it possibly maybe Ethan did not do what he was supposed to do properly, or maybe it was just like a distical, or maybe there are so many factors to look into why Ethan was not able to meet their sales target and why he performed so poorly as a sales rep. So the next thing we are going to be looking at, I want to show us the difference between the count function and the count a function. So can you just give me 1 minute? Okay. All right. So I would like us to continue. So as I was saying, I said I want to be able to know the difference between the count and the count function in aggregate functions in Excel. So the count function helps you to count only values, right? So the count A will help you to count both values, numbers, both values, both figures, and what have you to count anything. So let's just practicalize that. So I want to be able to count. The CEO came to me again as a data analyst and he said, please, can you count the total sales we have in the month of May? I want to be able to know why our sales was this poor in the month of May. So to do that, I want to count the total sales. Like I want to know the exact number of sales we made. So I'll type my equals to function, count, open brackets. So you click on the cell in the month of May, the first cell in the month of May. And then don't forget your shortcut, Control, Shift, and arrow down button. You close your brackets.
Ma is
Okay.
highlighting that paper there.
Yes, I just saw that. So I'll just Control Shift. All right. So you highlight everything and then you close your bracket. So you have been able to count that the total sales we made only in the month of May was 5. Now this is counting values. Now the count A function can help you count both values, both figures, and what have you. So count A, you would see it here. So count A, right? So for example, I want to use count A here. because these are not numbers. So let's see if it will work. So it's showing 5. If you have used count, let's see if count will work. Because I'm telling you that the count function, so it's returning 0. So the count function can only count numbers, right? But the count if, let's try if the count if can count count is rather. Okay, so you can see. So the count a function can count both numbers, and it can also count both alphabets, whatever. It can count. So okay, let me use another example. I want to write the list of students' GPA in the university. So the first name I would have here is Lucy. So Lucy, I would have Rachel, Victoria, Jennifer, Babatunde, and then I want to write their GPA. 3.75, 4.5. So let's practicalize the difference between count and count function that I just highlighted here. So the count function, I said, can only count numbers. So let's see if that is true. So it only returned 3 because there are 3 words numbers here. So let's try the count if. The count a rather. So it's returning 8. So with this short example I gave, can you now identify the difference between the count function and the count a function?
Count A is counting all the both values and figures.
Yes.
Like sorry,
Then it,
the alphabet and this thing. Why they count only count is returning only the numbers.
all right, beautiful. So so with aggregate function, it can be able to do a lot of things with data, right? So we have other functions and formulas in Excel. We have logical function. That's where you have your VLOOKUP, your if function, and what have you, count if, sum ifs, and those are advanced functions and formulas in Excel. But for want of time, we will not be going straight into that. So we'll be going to, so with this and with the data set we have here, but before we go further, please, does anyone have questions in aggregate functions in Excel? I love to take questions now, please. Before we go further into the deeper part of data analysis, because we are about to get deeper, and if you don't understand the basics now, it's going to get very, very complicated for you. So does anyone have questions?
I didn't really get that count and count a function just now.
Okay, so I should explain the count and count a function I just explained.
Mm.
All right. So any other questions? Okay, so let's go back to that. Okay, so I said the count function in Excel can help you count only values, right? So the count function in Excel counts only values, while the count a function counts both values, figures, and what have you in Excel. So let's practicalize it. Let me delete this. All right. So please, can anyone come up with a data that we
Please,
can use to work on it?
please share your screen.
My screen is being shared. Can you see it?
I'm not seeing it.
No, we cannot see it.
We can't see
Oh,
the screen, man.
all right. So I had network issues. So let me share it again. Can you see it now?
No.
No, man.
No, ma, we can't see your screen.
All right. And let me start it again. Wow. Okay, I think I'm having a bit of network issues, which I can't tell why. All right. That's- All right, so let me just leave the call and join back again. Don't know if that would work. I sincerely apologize for what just happened. Please, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Right, so let's go straight into that.
Yeah.
So can you see my screen now?
It's still not.
Not yet, man.
What's happening? Oh, oh, wow. All right, so wow. Wow. Can't stop doing that now. Can you see this now? Oh
Not
my
yet,
God.
ma.
Yeah. No, no.
Oh God. What can I do?
Mango suri. Udah pada.
Okay, we can see it now.
Yeah.
Okay. I sincerely apologize about that.
It's okay, ma.
My
It's
Google
okay.
Chrome was having issues, so I had to use.
Mike, I cannot hear you. Hello.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear
Yes,
you.
ma. We can hear you now.
Yeah,
Okay.
Can see your
All
screen.
right. All right. Apologies about that. So, quickly, if we want to look at the count function, so I quickly drafted a data set and an HR data set here, and want to use it to analyze the difference between the count function and the counting function. So equals to count, you write your function, and then highlight everything here, Control Shift. So when you highlight everything, you close it. So we have two, right? So the count function only counts numbers. So the two rows here that have numbers is the staff ID and the phone number. So that's why there are two. So let's try the count A, the count A function. So the count A function will be returning 3 because there are 3 values there. 3. So the count function will only count numbers, while the count A function will count numbers, figures, and whatever you give to it, it will count it and give you the total count. Do you not get the difference? The person who has a question, do you not get the difference between the count function and the count A function? Okay. So let me use another example. Count function. So we are returning 2. So let's try if the count function can count this number here, this alphabet here rather. So we are returning 0. Please, can you unmute yourself? Please, can you unmute yourself? Please, can you mute yourself? Whosoever is unmuted, please, can you mute yourself? So the count function can only pick numbers, and the count a function can pick both numbers, values, and what have you. So let's go straight into data analysis in Excel, right? So this is the deeper wells of Excel. With this, you can be able to do a lot of things. So I have with me here a data set for a manufacturing company, right? So the name of the company is Venco. So let me zoom this out so that you can be able to read the question. So Venco is a manufacturing company that specializes in the production of stationery products like pencils, pen, what have you. So, and they have an issue. So they're experiencing a decline in sales. So they came to engage you as a data analyst to help them discover what could be the reason and how to boost revenue. So you have to identify strategies, opportunities to boost revenue and guide their next steps. So the first thing, and what Venco did was they provided you with this data set and said, hey, Vicky, take this data set, please help us work on it. We want to be able to know what is wrong with our business and what is wrong with our revenue, right? So the first thing you are going to be doing, you want to know the top performing product line. So want to know which product line yielded the highest revenue, right? So you click on anywhere on the data you're working on, then you go to insert, you go to your pivot table. So when you do that, you click on OK. So I'll take that again. So this is our data set. I said the first thing you do when you want to analyze anything, you use pivot table to analyze data set in Excel. With pivot table, you can be able to create charts, can be able to easily understand and find trends in your data. So you click on anywhere on the data, go to insert, and then you choose pivot table, right? So you choose new sheets, you choose OK. So this is what we have now. So you can see that the columns we have in this sheet, they are all lined up here. We have the dates, the product line, region, revenues, and we have months and what have you. So what the first thing we want to be able to analyze is we want to be able to know which product line gave much revenue, which product line gave much revenue. So we'll go to product line. You drag the product line and drop it here. And then you go to revenue, drag and drop. So when you drag and drop, this is what you have. So for folders, we have folders gave us 59,000 naira as revenue. The markers 39,500, and these are what we have. So from here, if you want to know the highest, we are just going to sort it from largest to smallest. So you click anywhere on the information you have, click on the cell, and then you right click. You would have this pop up. You select sort, and then you choose sort largest to smallest. So it's automatically sorted. So from here, you can see that the first is paper, the second is notebook, folders. So to visualize this in charts, right? So you go to your pivot analyze. This is it. Then you go to pivot chart. So under pivot chart, you would see different options that you have. So I would like to tell us the difference between the column, the line chart, the pie chart, and other kind of charts. So the first one here is the column chart. So column charts are used when you want to do comparison of a particular category. For example, this what we want to do now, we want to be able to compare which category gave the highest revenue. So the best alternative visualization we can use is the column chart, right? And then we have the line. Line chart is best when you want to visualize trends. You want to be able to know, okay, want to know per season. Yes, it's mostly used for seasonal trends. Want to know, okay, in May, the sales declined. You see that this line will go down. Then one want to say that the sales increase, the lines will go up. So it will show you trends of sales for a particular duration of time. And then pie charts. Pie chart is used to show percentages, right? It's best used for percentage. If you would agree with me, when you look at this, you get confused because you're seeing a lot of colors. And one thing people do not know about visualization is it's not really about the beautiful colors you have, even though that is packed. But if people look at your data and they are first confused before understanding, then it's not really a data, right? Because the earnest desire of every data analyst is to come to the facts where people can actually look at what you have done and a layman can understand it to the fullest, right? So pie chart is not good for comparison. It's only good when you want to, when maybe you have three, say for example, we have only three figures here. We can just use pie chart and show percentages. I will say that, okay, paper had 50% percentage revenue. These are 20%, you know, and then bar chart is the same with column charts. Just that this one is horizontal and one is horizontal, one is vertical, right? So area chart is like line chart and the rest. And we have maps, stocks for those who are into stocks, and what have you. So we want to do comparison. So we are going to be using column chart. So you choose OK. Please, can anyone still hear me or am I still talking to myself?
Yes.
All right. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for that response. So now you have this. So we have been able to see that paper was the one that generated high revenue. So anyone that see this will just know that based on the trajectory of the charts, you can see that paper was the highest there. But then you now look at it and say, what's now the figure? So to add that, you can just add data labels to it. So you can see with data labels, you can see the figure. Paper was 93,000, notebook was 75,000, folders 59, and the rest. And then what I love to do, I love to remove grid lines, right? So if you're honest, would agree with me that now that there's grid lines now, but you'd agree with me that when you remove it, it looks more presentable and more professional, right? So I remove grid lines and I also remove legends. If you notice something left here, this is legend. So I'll remove legend to make it have more space. And also, there'll be no need for these numbers by the left because we already have labels, right? So I will just remove that on the X. Yes. So I just want to, this should be, so I've removed it. And then what I want to remove again, I want to remove this. So you click this sum of revenue and product line. So I'll remove it. I'll click on it and then right click and then click on hide all field buttons on chart. So it is hidden. So we can now see that this is what we have. And that thing is, if someone just looks at this, the person should be able to, okay, say, okay, this is what this column chart is talking about. So you should have a title. So right, so so this will just title it as revenue by products. Yes, revenue by products. So if in case you want to do additional beautification, can always go here. You fill colors, choose colors, fill any color you want, and what have you. So in case you want to do all of that, is you're fine. Just go ahead and do that. So we have um so we can be able to see that the product that gave more revenue was paper. As simple as that. As simple as ABCD. So you highlight everything here. Control C. Control C is to copy. So when you want to copy, just press Control C. And when you want to paste, you press Control V and paste it. So the reason why we are copying and pasting is we don't want to have a lot of worksheets opened up. So just do that. And then the second thing we want to analyze revenue trends. What are the trends in revenue over time, right? So from what I have said, I explained I explained the different charts we have in Excel and how best you can use them. So for this particular analysis we want to do, want to check for trends. Who can tell me which chart that best fits for this analysis to check trends of revenue over time?
That is line chart.
All right, beautiful. So line charts, line charts, line charts. So why do you say line charts?
Because it's to show the trends over time, like the seasonal of how things were flowing. And,
Okay. All right, so that's beautiful. So trends over time. So we would use dates. Want to know which particular month generated revenue and all of that. So we just use dates. Right. So you have 2024, 2025. Okay. So you go to your charts and you have your line chart. Okay. So let me explain something. So the reason why this is because it's capturing only 2024 and 2025. So I want you to capture months. So I'll remove year, drag it out from the axis. So I have quarter. I don't want to show quarter. I want to show months. So I have months here. So you can see that from here, first you remove your grid lines before interpreting the data, remove grid lines, remove legend, and then remove your axis. Okay, beautiful. So there's something else to remove. This hide, you hide it. Right. So from here we can see that if you take your mouse closer to any of the points you have here, it will tell you the values. You don't necessarily have to put labels for line charts. Okay, let me show you what it looks like when you put labels. It will look so icing is all jumbled up together, so it's not so professional. And that's why if you check most dashboards, you see you don't see labels on them, right? Only if the clients are working for request that you put labels. But regardless of that, once you take your mouse to the point, you would see the figure. So we are seeing that for January we have 25,000, which is this is for January. So you go to February, this is February, you see 37,000. So if you observe in January, from January to February, there was an increase. So, and then when it got to March, there was a decline in revenue. So revenue declined to 19,500. That was why it was slow. Then it not went up in the month of April to 47,000 and then went down again in May. So you see that their sales has not been consistent. And so on and so forth. But then the highest peak period for this particular business, Venco business, is in the month of October. They had 46,000, and in the month of April they had 47,000. So in the month of April they had 47,000. The month of October they had, and I would like to attribute this to the fact that knowing that this is a stationery a company that produces stationery like pen, books. So these are periods when schools likely resume, secondary schools, primary schools likely resume. So it's very normal for sales to pick up within this period October is when they come back from third term, if I'm not mistaken, or September. So you see that from September it went high, and then in April too it went high. So if I am to advise Venco production company, I will tell them that within this peak period of April and October, they should engage more in targeted advertisements, right? They should target the advertisements more um, to the schools and whatever programs they are doing, maybe they run ads, whatever way they're using to reach out to their customers, they should intensify it more within the period of April and within the period of October. So that way they can be able to maximize revenue and generate more revenue for them. And then the period when there is decline, like the period like in December and in January, they should be able to develop more strategies to be able to reach out to their target audience. So don't forget to rename this to revenue trends over time. Revenue trends over time. So we have them here. All right. So this third task we want to do, we want to know which region contributed most to the revenue. So we want to know which region gave them more sales, right? So as usual, you copy this, you copy, I would like to paste it here. So which region gave more revenue? So please, who can tell me what data are you going to use from here, from your pivot table, to be able to identify the region that gave more sales and then the revenue? We already have revenue there. So let me remove this. So we want to be able to compare regions that gave more revenue to the organization. So who can unmute their mic and just tell me the region? Sorry, I've already said it. God. So who can unmute their mic and tell me what we are choosing on the pivot table to be able to give us revenue sales comparison between regions? So please, who can do that? I already said it.
Is the region and the revenue.
Okay, all right. So region and revenue. Thank you so much, Jennifer. So region, you just drag region into it. All right, so from here, you go to pivot analyze, pivot charts. Yes. So you can say, I want to be able to use bar charts. Yes. So from here, we can see that West region was the region that gave Venco production companies more revenue, right? So as usual, you remove your grid lines, remove legend, remove the axis to no, I won't skip that. All right. Okay. So I want to add labels so I can be able to know the figures. So West was the region that generated more revenue for this particular organization. So revenue by region. Sorry. Okay. Yes. All right. So we have three informations here. Let me take this. All right. So we have revenue by region, we have trends over time. We now know that the duration with which more sales was made was in the month of April and in the month of October. And then we know that the products that gave more revenue was paper. So now we have done the task. The question is, based on your analysis, present clear and driven recommendations to help Venco reverse sales decline and strengthen its market performance. So who can be able to give us recommendations? What would you recommend to Venco based on the few analysis you have done? What would you tell the CEO of Venco as a data analyst? What do you want him to do so that sales can be increased and yes, so that revenue can be increased? So I'm going to start calling names. Yes. So you have the floor now. What will you tell Venco CEO from your analysis that you can do to increase the revenue for the organization? So, Mrs. Laurel, can we have you, please? Hello, Mrs. Laurel. Are you with us? Just say something, anything you feel. Or I should share my screen and go back to. Okay, I think that will work.
Please,
So let me.
let's have
All
this.
right.
Yes.
Share your
Okay.
screen, ma.
Okay. So this is the screen. So give me your recommendations. So who is going first? Just say anything. I understand that this is your first
Hello,
time
ma'am.
Ma.
interacting with. All right, I can hear you.
Hi, guys.
Okay, please can you go on? I can hear you, sir.
Okay. I will first look at the revenue by region.
Okay,
From there, I see West
all
having
right.
the highest, if I am
Okay,
correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're correct.
But I will advise the CEO to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that he concentrates also in that West so as not to lose the customer there and extend
Okay,
the tentacle in this west as well as the south, and also look at the north and the east respectively that are having low revenue from that side, and see what are the factors that are really reducing or not allowing them to have uh, much of their sales there, so that we can boost the revenue in that area.
all right, beautiful. Thank you so much. Please, when you want to answer, can you just tell me your name? Because I can't. I wish I
Okay,
can just see this.
my
All
name
right.
is Adetunji.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Dintuji. I sincerely appreciate your feedback on this.
Thank you.
So quickly, can someone tell me what could be the reason why not had the lowest revenue? Because looking at this is a production company that produces stationaries. So what do you think could possibly be the reason why people do not love buying pencils, pen in the notes?
Can I answer that?
Yes, you can. Please go ahead.
I think if we look at that, that shows that the level of out of school is really affecting that place.
Yes,
So
yes.
Oh,
if you have more students in schools, definitely we have except if there are other companies that are having sharing the market with them in that place. Those are the two things that I
okay.
think most likely be.
Wow,
In
wow. I
addition
have
to what he just said now
okay,
concerning that,
okay,
sorry, ma'am, my name is Jennifer. In addition to what he just said, I think there is low advertise, like they don't advertise much in that area, and it's
okay.
affecting people knowing that their product, like knowing the existence of the product in that area.
All right. Wow. So I have amazing business analyst in view right here. So
Okay.
imagine what. Okay. Okay. Please go
Good
ahead.
evening. My name is
Good
L'Oreal.
evening.
So,
All
with
right,
regards to the
Laurel.
first question you asked, you were like, you asked that, okay, what can Venco TO do to increase more sales? And my answer is in line with what Jennifer said. I would advise him to focus on, to direct some part of resources to advertisement. And I feel like from that revenue trend over time, I
Yes.
noticed that there
Mm-hmm.
was low sales in March and also in September. And I feel like these 2 months, it should focus on advertisement during those two periods because the ISAs was generated in April and also October, which is due to the fact that probably due to school resumption and other reasons. So I think if he focus
Wow.
on advertisement, if he advertises his product during March and September, he will be able to generate higher sales in those 2 months of April and October.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. Wow. Wow, like I'm blown away. So I have amazing business analysts here, right? So who else we take the floor? Thank you so much, Laurel. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Mr. Babatunde, right? Sorry, Adetunde. Yes.
Yes,
Hi,
Adetunji.
yes, Adetunji. Thank you so much. So please, who else can give us more insights? There are a lot of insights to get from this. This is how you know that you love analytics because you can be able to look at something that is seemingly looking like nothing and you can be able to bring wisdom to it. So just test your brains. And so do I have anyone else who wants to just give an attempt? Anything, just say it. I want to just hear.
My name is Abua.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Bua.
Okay, you can see that the North now they're having a lower sales volume. So
Okay.
I will advise that if they can concentrate on that area by moving some experienced staff that are in the
Okay.
West to go to
Wow.
the North and do a market survey to try to see
Okay.
what will be the challenge. If they may have another competitor there, and try to see how they
Okay.
can maybe improve on their products to
Wow.
match with their rivals, their competitors. Sorry.
Wow. Wow. I never saw that. Okay. Moving some of their staffs to the north. Wow. Yes, that would actually be a long way to help them generate revenue. True, true. Thank you so much, Mr. Bua. I sincerely appreciate that feedback. So who else can go? I just want two more feedback and then we'll go for the last one we have for today.
Hello.
All right, I can hear
Hello.
you.
My name is Damian.
Okay, Damian, please can go ahead.
So I will say I will advise the CEO to consider the target market because in any business that target market is very crucial. Just as you made mention of the north, sometimes you consider the population of people that are supposed to be in school before you take your business to that place, and then you know how to strategize. That is the point I want to make. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I sincerely appreciate your feedback. Okay, wow, wow. All right. So do you have anyone else who wants to give feedback? Anybody else?
Yes.
Let me say something.
Okay,
Okay.
please do. Please do.
Okay, I want to
Your name,
analyze using
please.
the revenue by product. My name is Jennifer, sorry.
Okay, thank
Jennifer.
you.
I want to analyze using the revenue by products.
Okay,
I think the CEO they should focus more on the product that is giving them revenue, like in
okay,
production and distribution aspect, and
okay.
also try to increase the advert rates of this lower all this product that doesn't give much, that doesn't generate much income today. They should advertise more, look for attractive strategies that will help attract customers to know that
Oh,
they are existing in the market. Yeah.
okay. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I sincerely appreciate that. Right. So the last person, there was someone else who wanted to
Yeah.
talk.
Good evening, Ma. My
Good
name is
evening,
Dambela.
sir.
Yes.
Okay, Damilola. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yes. So, looking at the revenue by region,
Okay.
we can see it from the west. We can see much sales from the west and south, but for the
All right.
north and the east is as a result
Mm-hmm.
of lack of awareness of a
Okay.
particular, be it a particular, goods or product they are selling. So lack of
Okay.
awareness is the major problem here from the north and the east. So we our
Okay.
major focus will be shifted to the north especially. So we have to work more on the north and the east. We have to re-strategize, like people have
Mm-hmm.
said. We have to push out our goods, you know, make them know that this is what we are selling, to boost out production. So yeah, that is
Okay.
what I have to say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Sorry, please. I didn't get the name. Apologies about that.
Okay, my name is Damlola.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Damlola. I sincerely appreciate your feedback. And I appreciate everyone who has spoken so far. Right. So I forgot to say this when we started the class. We have an attendance for attendance sheet. So only those who feel it to be given certificate of attendance. So just wait till the end of the class and then we'll send the link. So fill the forms, and once you fill it, we'll send you your certificates via your mails, right? So quickly, let's go to the last thing we can do for today. So this is a bonus class that I want to add, right? So so I want to ask, does anyone want us to stop? Do you want us to stop or
Not yet.
Oh,
okay?
not yet, ma.
All right, that's okay. So I have just one more thing to do. I'm trying to find, okay. So all right. So the last thing, which is a bonus for this class, we want to quickly do forecasting in Excel. So for example, there's someone who introduced himself as someone who is into investments. Please, if you're that person, can you just say I and just mention your name? Okay, I think I lost the person. All right. So we can look at the data here. We have sales data and we have dates. So one, sorry. All right. So in 30 minutes, let's quickly run through this. Okay. So the first rule when you want to do forecasting is please ensure that you have dates um that have quarters in it. Right. So you have for January, you can have from January to December, but don't have only February and then the next one will be in June. Then the next one will be December. It's not going to show anything for you. It's not going to work. So you have sales. They could be sales. It could be investment, anything. Sales and then dates. You would highlight Control Shift arrow down. So when you highlight everything, you go over here. Sorry, you go over data and choose your forecast sheet. Right. So this is giving you a linear which is not supposed to be so. So let's quickly check. Let's quickly insert column. All right. So I want to check what could be the issue. Wow. Insert pivot table. All right. So you choose your forecast end. So for me, I want it to end in 2026. And then the forecast, I want it to start in 2024. Right. So when you do that, okay. Don't know why this is doing this. Sorry. Okay. So let's try this one more time. And you go to data and you go to your forecast sheet. So let me quickly just explain what we are looking forward to, what we're supposed to have here. We are supposed to have a linear like chart. So if, for example, your chart is straight like this, you can't be able to do a proper forecasting or whatever you want to do. So you're supposed to have something linear. So permit me to quickly search for it. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's go back to Excel and see what we can do. I love this data. All right. So sincerely apologize about that. So if, for example, you have this, so let me just quickly do a recap about generally what the forecasting does for you. So if, for example, you have this, you highlight your date. I think I have the data mixed up somewhere. So you get your data. When you highlight everything, delete this first. You highlight everything and you go to your forecast sheet. And then you create. So when you create, so this is your forecast values, right? So your forecast values, we are saying that in the year 2024, these values here are supposed to be the amount that you are going to be expecting in 2026. And then the lower confidence bound is saying that regardless of whatever happens, because you are trying to make predictions, regardless of what happens, if there is an increase or there's a decrease, or maybe the market was not responding to you, whatever could have happened to reduce, to cause decline, is not going to exceed, is not going to fall below this, and it's not going to fall below this. So that's what basically forecasting does for you. And I believe that with a more comprehensive information you can be able to derive. So like I said, just go to highlight it, go to your inserts, so sorry, your data, click on your forecast sheet, and then you choose your create. Don't forget to choose your forecast end and your forecast start. So when you choose the period, you choose you click on create, and then you see your forecast values come up on the screen here. So the values here are the forecast, and this is your predictions. So with that, I'd like to thank all so much um for being in class. And I would like to take questions at this point. Please, if you have questions, can you just ask? You have questions, questions.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation, the wonderful presentation.
You're
And
welcome, sir.
yeah, so I actually wanted to talk the other time when you were talking about the insights in that the data you presented when you were doing the pivot analysis. So based
Okay.
on the data we have, is it not possible for us to have a global comparison of what we are doing and the industry market, I mean the market, total market, for us to know how we're actually performing? In the sense that if we are saying, okay, in the north, we are not doing well in the north, but in the actual sense of it, we are even having like 60% of the market share of that. Do we actually need to be putting effort in the north? So, and if you are not thinking like that, what kind of analysis are we actually talking about? So, I just want to ask that. I don't know
Okay.
if you
So
get
you're
what I'm
saying that,
saying.
yes. So just to get your what you're saying, you're trying to say that if we are to focus on the north, which is obviously the poorest performing um state, right?
State,
What are
yes,
the data we are going to analyze?
yes. For us to even know
Okay.
how really we are
What?
doing.
All right. So first you have to now, you first of all have to know the factors that are causing those declines in sales within that region. That's the first thing. So when you have been able to identify that, you can now know what to even start analyzing. Because you can't just jump into analysis without having full glimpse of what you want to do. So I would say that first, since the north is having the lowest performing sales, the first thing you would do is get your get the analysis of the sales agent there. So you can request the CEO of Venco to give you a data sheet for the sales agents within that region, right? So when you get analysis of the sales agents within that region, you can now know, okay, this is the sales agent, and maybe you can now introduce trainings and incentives to make them perform better. So with your analysis, you can be able to track down which sales agents perform low and which perform better. So am I able to answer your questions, Mr. Chukwudi? So what I'm trying to say is that it all depends on what is the cause. So once you get the cause, then you know what you're analyzing. Do you get it?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Hello,
So
hello, ma'am.
I'm with you.
Miss Adetunji is on there.
Okay, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to make some comment concerning the question that my other brothers asked the other time. I think it was
Beautiful.
maybe comparing, maybe to compare with uh, other product manufacturer in that place to know if really
So,
the company may be having like 60, because remember what you said, maybe they are having the 60% of the market. They may not know, the company may not know that it's even having higher market dominance in that place, compare with others, because it may not, a company may not be the only one producing that product. What about other companies that are also, but in our own chart we may be looking at that data that yes, we are having low revenue there, but at least maybe we may find out that the market that have been captured might be even bigger than what we are looking at. So how do we get the real market dominance in that place?
Okay, so please, can you go back to your questions? Let me understand what you're trying to say. Can you just recap?
Yes, exactly. He got what I was trying to say. There was a
Okay.
particular time I did a report. Why the board are now saying that, yes, we have seen what you said, but we need to have a global view, like industry standard. Like, okay, now this is our performance. How are we doing in that industry, in this manufacturing space? And that's why it's always very important that we compare our performance, like our own performance with other, so that we now be able to get a more holistic, not that, okay, on the whole production. Yes, if you just start increasing your strategy where there is no even market again, that's a waste of resources. So he has actually said it that, okay, we should try and compare it with other uh, players in that particular industry. That is exactly what I'm saying, and they got it. So thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Babatunde. Sorry, Mr. Adebayo for
Adetunji.
Adetunji. Thank you so much, Mr. Adetunji, for that. And I sincerely appreciate your feedback. So please, does anyone have any other question to ask?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, please go ahead.
I am Damian. Thank you, ma,
All
so
right.
much for this wonderful class. I really
You're welcome,
appreciate it.
sir. You're
My question
welcome.
is that is this last on the forecasting side of the class?
Yes.
I didn't really capture everything, so I was in a noisy place that time. Please just give me a little listening. And I'm pleading. I would like to that slide somebody made mention of at the beginning of the class. I think I would love to have it, please. Thank you.
Okay, the slides. Please, I'm a bit lost. So which slide is it the one I'm using to present right now?
Like the slide for the class, at least it will help
Okay.
us a bit.
All
Yeah.
right, that's fine, sir. I would definitely share that.
Thank
So
you, ma'am.
for the forecasting, you can. All right, so I'll quickly share my screen. Let's see what we can do quickly. So can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you highlight everything, and then you go to your data column. You go to your data bar menu. When you select it, choose forecast. So like I said, highlight everything, go to data, choose forecast, and then you choose your forecast end period and your forecast start. So the forecast end is saying when do you want your forecast to end, then the forecast start is saying when do you want your forecasting to start. You choose the duration you want and then click on OK. And so when this pops up, you'll be able to see figures below, right? So our data set ended in 2024, but we told the Excel to forecast to us to 2026. So we can see here figures for 2025 and 2026. So in 2025, you can see this forecast sales is the forecast in sales that we are making for the year 2025. And this lower and upper confidence bound is saying that even though we make this amount of sales for the year 2026, is not going to fall below this and is not going to fall below this. So for example, our forecast sales year, say our forecast sales year is 100,000, and then our lower confidence bound year is say 98,000. This is saying 101,000. So what we are saying is that our prediction, though we are making predictions, we are not so certain about what 2026 holds, but we are saying our amount is not going to fall below 98 and it's not going to be above 101,000. So that's what forecasting is. So with this, you can be able to make informed decision knowing that your sales, your revenue cannot fall below 98 and it cannot fall above 101,000. So is that clear enough now, sir? Hello, the person that has a question, is that clear enough now?
Yes, ma. Thank you.
Uh, you're welcome. So with that, I would like to say thank you so much for all who has joined. And I also like to use it because I know that Excel is something that is so broad. You also need to learn data visualization, how to create your dashboard. You also need to learn Power BI, how to create dashboard using Power BI, and many more things that Excel can do for you. So I can show you a practical example of what Power BI can do for you, right? So this is Power BI. So you can create a dashboard in Power BI, and dashboards in Power BI look more professional and actually more beautiful. Apple dashboards. So with that, I would like to introduce you to, invite you rather, to learn more about data analysis. All right. So you can, we'll be opening our boot camp for next month. So our boot camp will be opening from Friday this week, 17th of May, and it's going to run for 6 weeks. So in that bootcamp, you're going to be learning data cleaning, Excel function, pivot tables, Excel, and Excel function, you're going to learn VLOOKUP, test functions, and what have you, and dashboards. You're going to learn Power BI, Power Query, how to clean your data in Power BI. You're also going to learn visualization, and you're also going to learn how can you monetize your data analysis skill. We are going to teach you how to revamp your CV such that when you want to apply, right, recruiters does not just doubt you. They can see your competence through the portfolio you are going to build. So you're going to be working on 3 projects, right? So with these 3 projects, you'll be able to build your portfolio, you get certificates, and you get access to the academy. And you get, the top of it is that you get access to being trained personally, where you can ask questions. This is not a video class where you just buy video and you get to watch on your own. You have someone who you can call any day to ask questions, and the person will be there to guide you. Yeah, right? The person will be there to guide you, and it's just going to last for 6 weeks. 6 weeks, and we are, because of this boot camp, we are going to be running a discount, and this discount is going to be lasting from now till midnight today. So it's going to be lasting from now to midnight today, and it's just for the sum of 10,000 naira. With 10,000 naira, you can be able to learn all of these things that I've just mentioned in Excel. So let me show you what a Power BI dashboard looks like. So this is what Power BI looks like. And you can also create dashboards in Excel. Say, for example, this, I have this. So this is what your dashboard in Power BI can look like. It's coming up. So in Power BI, you can be able to visualize your data to look exactly like this. Okay. So you can be able to visualize the data to look exactly like what is already coming up. So with that, once you create dashboards, you can even look up for my name on LinkedIn, Uneke Victoria. You can see some of the projects I've been able to embark on. And so I'm inviting you to this boot camp where I can be able to train you and guide you properly on how to do data analysis using Excel and using Power BI. So to register for that boot camp, the discount is going to be running from now till midnight today. So after that, it's going to go up back to the normal price, right? So yes, it's already up already. So imagine what Power BI can do. So this is a project I worked on. I worked on Apple stock performance. I was able to do analysis of 48 years they have been, how their stocks have performed, and this is the dashboard. So this is what you can do in Power BI. You
Ma'am,
can clean your
I'm not seeing the screen.
We have not seen
okay.
anything.
All right. So let
I'm
me
not seeing it, ma'am.
I'm so sorry about that. So let me share it again. All right. So can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes.
So this is Power BI. This is what a dashboard in Power BI looks like, right? So you can also replicate this kind of information in Excel. And the beautiful thing about Power BI is as you are moving, you are seeing the figures, right? Power BI is very interactive. You can choose, you can add your slides. Say I want to choose for only 1918. There's no figure for 1918. So I want to choose for, you can see that anyone you choose, any year you choose, the dates, the informations come up alongside it. So this is what Power BI can do for you. And I can choose, I mean, you can do a lot of things with Power BI. Look, the visualizations. I mean, Power BI is the king of visualization when it comes to data analysis. Aside learning Excel, you also need to learn how to visualize and create project for yourself. So like I said, you can just look for me on LinkedIn as Neke Victoria and just check up the projects I've been able to work on and see for yourself. So that's why I'm inviting you for this bootcamp. I can be able to impart this knowledge to you and also teach you how to create your dashboard in Excel. Excel too can create dashboards, right? So look at example of, so Excel too can create dashboard and you can do much more when it comes to data analysis. So please, to make payments, you can make your payment from now till midnight today, and it's just for the sum of 10,000 naira. You make payments to the numbers that you can see on this. Yes, make payment to this account. So we are just going to send the account details to the group, and then once you make your payment, you'll be transferred to the class where you learn everything that regards to power. You are going to learn soft skills that a data analyst needs. We believe that we are not just training you to become knowledgeable, we're also giving you the skills you need, because a data analyst that does not have integrity, you don't have, I mean, what are those soft skills? You are also not going to last in the industry. So many more things are packed up in this 6 weeks boot camp we are organizing. So please take hold of this promo that we are running for today. For today, it's just 10,000 naira only. After today, it's go higher than that. All right. So you can fill the attendance sheet, and we'll be sending the payment details right now on the group, right? So if you have further questions, you can just chat me up on WhatsApp. You can just chat me up on WhatsApp and I'll be there to answer you. Right. So at this point, does anyone have anything to say so that we can just call the class a quit? You can just um end the class. Please ensure to fill your forms, right? Ensure to fill your forms to make payment for data analysis. I'm sending it right away to the group. I'm sending it right away to the group. So I'm sending a list of what you'll be learning while in the class. And it's just going to run for 6 weeks duration, 6 weeks duration. So in that 6 weeks duration, you will be totally taught on Microsoft Excel and Power BI and how to create the dashboards I created. So let me share my screen. Let me show you my profile on LinkedIn. Let me show you my profile on LinkedIn so you can look it up. All right, so on LinkedIn, all right, so you can follow me too on LinkedIn and you get to, okay. So this is my profile on LinkedIn, right? This is me. So if you go through, if you scroll down, you would see some of the projects I have been able to embark on. Right. So this is done using Power BI, and then this is done using Excel. If you scroll further, you will see many more projects that I've been able to embark on, right? So, like I said, the boot camp is going to be starting on Monday, and you can make your payments using these account details on the screen, right? And the bonus is going to be ending this midnight, just 10,000 naira, and you get into the class. So thank you so much for joining. Please fill your attendance and get a certificate forwarded to you. All right. So with this, I'd like to say thank you so much for attending Vigor Analytics webinar, and I hope you got value for your time. Please, did anyone get value for their time?
Yes, so
Yeah.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right.
Yes, so a lot.
Wow. Wow.
yeah,
Thank
Thank
I
you
you
so
so
much.
understand
much.
some point, madam.
Yes, please fill that the attendance sheet I sent to you, the value you got, how it impacted you, and was your expectations met as well. So we want to see all of those feedback and testimonials, right? Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and
Thank you.
look, you're welcome. Do have a great day.
All right.